Hello, everybody. Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you're joining us from. I'm Nidhi. I'm one of the founders of PayBee, and I'm so excited to meet you all today. The last time we were on this kind of stage was when we introduced virtual galas. We were the first to market with a one-screen solution. And today we are super pumped to show you hybrid. And it's especially, I guess, special because we have a very interesting, fun person joining us, leading us through this hybrid demo. So again, with our hybrid, right, specifically what's been very, very important to us as we've built this is to make sure that every donor feels like they're part of just as much a part of the gala as everyone else, no matter where they're joining from, right? Whether they're joining from home or whether they're in person with the auctioneer in the room, whether the auctioneer is remote, whatever the setup is, each donor should feel like they are a part, just as much a part of the gala. And another big part is keep both audiences in sync. So the virtual audience knows what's happening in the room and the audience in the room knows what's happening virtually. And again, with everything that we build at PayBee is to make sure the experience is super simple, super streamlined, right? For all users, the donors, the auctioneer, the production team, as well as the charity team itself. So now I'm going to introduce you to our celebrity guest today, Chad Carvey. He's back with us for another PayBee demo. He did the last virtual one with us last year. It's hard to believe it's been a year already. And he's our auctioneer today. He used to be a school principal for 29 years, which leads to his name of being the principal auctioneer. And he's been a benefit auctioneer now for 3 decades. I should do some counting, Chad. But how did you manage to be a principal and auctioneer at the same time? But you can tell us.
I started when I was 5 years old.
See, and now it makes sense. Yes. And again, he loves to mentor and help, technology companies such as ours, as well as fundraising professionals. Currently, he and his wife, Carolyn, are sailing around the world. A lot of us know that. We've been following his stories around, and they've been seeing some amazing glaciers and orcas. And while he's been on his sailboat, he's also been hosting virtual galas. He's done, did you say 72, Chad? Really?
72. We just did number 72. This Saturday will be 73rd one this weekend.
So next time, I guess we think you'll be telling us, I did 75 virtual and 104 hybrid.
And we're supposed to be retired, right? Carolyn and I are sailing around the world on our sailboat on a 10-year voyage. We're kind of stalled out here in wonderful Alaska, a great place to be stalled out in, because the South Pacific's all closed up. But yeah, I mean, as a school principal, you get really good at fundraising. I think that's really what it is as a basis. Getting good at asking for money, and because asking for money is kind of creepy, slimy, it can be, and you take out the slime, take out the creepiness, and make it a joyful thing. And I think that being a principal helped with that part of it.
No, that's amazing. That's amazing. So let's talk about hybrid today. That's what I guess all of us are here for. Tell us about you. Yeah, you've done a few talks about the bigger hybrid events in.
Yeah, I jotted down a couple of notes here. My first big one for everybody is hybrid or die. This is what's happening. It's coming. So there's no downside to having a hybrid. So why not? And most of our clients are going to want to start doing in-person galas. And what I do when I talk to clients, I pretty much say that if you think that 10 to 20 extra people will attend your event virtually, then it's worth doing a hybrid because there's a cost involved, maybe $2,000 to $5,000. We've actually got it down really low. We can pull off probably the cheapest hybrid is between $2,000 and $2,500. A lot of it will depend on what kind of cameras and tech you're going to do. You're really going to have to figure that out because in our bigger galas, we have a tech crew and that's easy. You just hand it off to them. You have multiple screens, camera people. It's easy. But for my little tiny school galas, how could we get it down to as affordable as possible? And really what we've figured out is basically we have 2 camera feeds. So we have my laptop like this. So when I'm at the podium, my attention is divided between my virtual guests and all my guests here. So I'm talking to them and I'm looking at my virtual. I'm talking to the crowd. I'm looking at my virtual. And if I run out in the crowd, we have another camera that's facing the crowd. So at least our virtual guests can see that I'm running out there. I'm interacting with the audience. Obviously, if you have more money, then you want a camera person to follow the auctioneer when he or she runs out into the crowd there. So, but I mean, I have so many clients now who are going to do a virtual component, a hybrid component forever, because it raises so much more money. If you can get family members of your organization to attend, if you can get sister organizations, sometimes they have a big mailing list they can attend. People across the nation, suddenly your audience is nationwide, if not worldwide. We have people, the other night, somebody in Portugal was joining us, and I think they were up at 3 a.m. so they could join us here. So, pretty amazing. One of the things that I was going to say, especially for PayBee, for auctioneers, 2 things. One is, and I think this is pretty much good for any virtual approach, not just PayBee, but you have to reduce your pace just a little bit. So when we budget our time for, say, the live auction, instead of 3 minutes that we would use in a regular in-person, we say 4 minutes per lot. So things need to slow down a little bit. You need to say things a little bit more clearly and slowly. And for PayBee especially, the big change that for an auctioneer you have to practice and know how to do is that your bids, you have to say the bidder number for the bids. So an auctioneer, if you're used to seeing a hand go up or somebody scratch their nose to indicate a bid, that's not going to work, because we want to enter it into PayBee in real time. And that's one of the miracles that PayBee has done. We'll show that a little bit later, is we want to be able to enter that data in real time and see it on the screen so our virtual guests can all participate. So instead of saying, your ringman saying, yeah, and you go, negative at 25, negative at 3,000, negative at 30, you have to say 207 3,500 negative bid $4,000. Yes, 984. You need to say that bidder number, and so your guests need to know to not only hold their bidder paddle up, but hold it up until you say their number. So that's instructions that you'll need to give to them. And then the other big thing is your eye time. So you have to look at the camera, look at the crowd. Look at the camera, look at the crowd, and look at your notes. And maybe look at the chat. So 4 different things. It helps to be ADHD. And today it's a little bit different. Obviously, I don't have a crowd in front of me. So some of the PayBee team are going to serve as you're going to see them on screen, and they're going to raise their bidder numbers. That's going to represent, the crowd of 200 people I would usually have, like I'm going to have this Saturday. So Nidhi, those are just some of the basics, and I'm ready to dive in whenever you are. Maybe tell us a little bit, how does PayBee do some of the special things for hybrids that are amazing?
No, definitely. This is exciting, right? Again, a big part of it has been to work around the auctioneer styles. And we'll talk about styles a little later in the presentation as well. But we want all of you to run the gala as you used to, well, as much as possible. There's slight tweaks required so that, you can actually expand your audience and go virtual as well. But the thing that PayBee streamlines a lot for the event is, again, we provide end-to-end experience. So it starts off with, setting up tickets, building your guest list. PayBee also generates paddles for the day off. So we actually have 2 formats. So what we do is at the time of check-in, our organizations hand out these little tent cards. And these are easy to kind of put in the purse or the jacket pocket. They can use the number to participate in silent auction. And then when it's time to sit down, they can see exactly the table number they have to go to. And then on the table, our organizations place their paddles and they just stack it up. It will have the name of the guest on it as well, and the same number. So again, when Chad goes on stage and says, okay, we're ready for fundraising, they can pick up the paddles, and you don't run into issue that, hey, I lost my paddle, and the volunteers are scrambling and trying to find them. So what's happening is when the paddles are getting raised in the room, those bids are getting entered in real time, and it goes into each donor's cart. Right, a cart gets created for each guest, whether they're in the room, whether they're virtual. Virtual donors obviously are hitting the button on their own. It's going into their cart. So at the end of the event, it becomes super, super easy to check out, right? We never have lines forming at all at any of our events. All the volunteers in the charities team are trained to handle checkout. So donor can either do a self-checkout by turning on their phone camera and pointing to their QR code. They see their own cart and they can use Apple Pay, Android Pay, credit card, anything they want to check out, or they can walk up to a volunteer who can process cash, card, check, any of those things. Anyway, that's a quick summary of everything that we've built. And I'm getting breathless. So now let's kind of bring Chad on, who's better at speaking anyway. Let's jump into the demo. Let's experience it all. So just in terms of setup today, Chad will be running it. We're going to have our live audience joining. If we can have our live audience join. And at the same time, all of you, I guess, joining us virtually will be our virtual audience. So you get to participate as well. Try everything out. We promise to give you a test credit card, so you don't have to use your own credit card to close your pledges. I guess, Chad, do remind them to go slow.
Yep, absolutely.
Go for it, Chad. Go ahead.
Good. All right, let's dive in. I'm just going to do kind of a mini gala, some of the intros I would usually do to welcome everybody. I always start with thanking the incredible gala committee. They've worked so hard, and let's give them a big cheer for the team putting everything together. Woo! I'm hearing my virtual crowd. Obviously, the crowd here. And just a side note for auctioneers, if I am, there are hybrid events, but there are also hybrid events come in every shape and color. And so recently I did a hybrid event where I was in Alaska. There was a crowd with one of my staff in Oakland, and there were all the virtual guests. So it's like a hybrid of a hybrid. And so in that case, I would have a live studio audience in the room with me, at least a few people clapping and cheering. So be ready to be creative. That's really the name of the game. So let's start out with like a regular gala. What a crazy year in our world and in America we have had. I think last demo, I had you say, how many of you thought of this past year? And how many of you said to yourself, you've got to be kidding me, or ARG, or something like that. So I'm going to teach you something. We have been in Petersburg, Alaska this year, also known as Little Norway. And I'm going to teach you how to say ARG, or you've got to be kidding me, in Norwegian this morning. And the word is oofda. So we're going to just say it together on the count of three. We're going to say oofda and just let this crazy year slide off our shoulders. Are you ready? On your marks, 1, 2, 3. Oofda! All right. So, folks, there are two kinds of people. They're the kinds of people who say oofda, or you've got to be kidding me. And maybe they go post a really strong Facebook meme or a Twitter and really do something. Or there's people who take action, like you tonight, coming to this event to change the face of the world. And all of us are fighting and wondering what to do, how to help in this crazy world. And what better cause today than all of you who are helping nonprofits. We know that helping nonprofits, there is no losing from doing that. So kudos to all of you. I can see the chat. So if any of you have questions, feel free as we go to type them in, and I'll try to get to them. Really, we're going to try to do real bidding as far as auctioneering. We're not trying to overload the system. They've already done all the stress tests, PayBee passes with flying colors. But today, just do a couple of normal bids and donations. Let's not go crazy. We're only going to do two components today. We're going to have a tiny live auction. Raise your hand if you have a birthday at any time in the coming year. At any point in the coming year. Just get your birthday shopping done. It's going to get crazy. And then we're going to have the heart of our gala, the fund the need. We're not going to do the last hero. I know a lot of you know my last hero technique. You could talk to me on the sidebar on how to do that. We're just going to do the live auction and the fund the need. So here is where I tell the guests, how does this work? I usually talk to them at the beginning to say that if you don't have your live auction program, we'll have a pop-up on the screen, or, check your email so you have the dates and details and deadlines for all our live auction lots. So I would encourage them to get their program. And then for hybrids, I would do two separate things. So virtual galas, I do one little explanation. Hybrids, I need to say, if you're in person, You just wave your paddle just like normal, except for the fact that hold your paddle up until I call out your bidder number. So I make that very, very clear to the in-person. And if you're in person, make some noise, in-person crowd. Let me hear you. And obviously, you guys are both in person and virtual. So, and sometimes we're doing house parties. Sometimes when we do galas where I have a lot of house parties, we might even bring them on screen and say, let's see the Jones family and see them cheer. Let's see the Smith family and do it that way. Now, for our virtual guests and all of you who are joining us, who are guests today to watch this demo, you are the virtual guests. When I start the bidding for live auction lots, I'm going to use an increment of $100. You can, when you push bid, you'll go up $100. But if you do that, we're going to be here all day long, as I tell my virtual clients who use PayBee. So hit that button that says bid amount, and you could always bid higher than what I'm asking for. You could type in the amount, and then our night will really rock and roll. Capiche? Let me hear you say capiche. Okay. All right. And again, side note for our auctioneers, PayBee, you'll need to say the bidder numbers throughout the night. Today, and as I tell crowds in regular virtual galas, if you are in a super slow connection, you're going to want to watch the chat very closely. You see my wife there, Chad Carvey. She is in the chat all over the place, and she'll do a countdown 5 seconds to go, 4 seconds to go, 3 seconds to go at the end of each live auction lot, so that you can see that in real time. So if you're on a really delayed setting, look for the chat. And then we're going to click that winner button, and we're going to see who wins these lots. Now, here's where I would usually do the first of a few freebie gifts. I'd like to do giveaways for our crowds. A lot of my clients do. How do you bring host families on screen? Yes, for PayBee, you use StreamYard. We use another platform sometimes, and we just can invite them on stage. So sometimes there's two ways you can do that. I'm not sure, and maybe Apta will want to respond to this, or Nidhi, on StreamYard, if you have to set that up or whether you can just invite them on stage in the moment. I think you have to preset that up on StreamYard as a presenter, right, Apta or Nidhi?
That's right. Yeah, you would connect up beforehand, and then when you're ready to put them live, the producer says, make them live.
Yep. So it kind of depends on what platform you're using, but for PayBee, you want to set that up in advance. That's easy to do. And there's usually two ways that house parties are bidding. Either they're all on their own devices, or they're using one person to input from their room. So they can do little bidder paddles for that. Their little concierge or bid assistant.
Two ways, I guess, for house parties. One is, yes, if you have another auctioneer in the room, you could have them be the clerk, right, and put in the bids, or they could all be connected on their own devices in a watch party mode, as we call it. They can bid, pledge, chat on their own. And again, each donor has their own identity at that point.
So here's where I would usually do a first of a few giveaways. Sometimes I do trivia questions, and the first one to type that in the chat or call it out in the crowd wins. But I love PayBee's little wheel of names. Can we put that up for a second? Let's just have fun, and we're going to do a first giveaway of, let's say, $1 million of Monopoly money or something. Let's see, and it's going to spin, and we're going to find out. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, give a big hand for our winner. Come on, make some noise. Sarah Dolan. Awesome, Sarah. Congratulations on winning 1 million doll hairs. All right. And then I would usually do my warm-up lot, the usual kind of warm up to get the crowd going. And then we dive into the live auction. So for our live auction, we're doing 2 lots. The first up is a Steph Curry signed jersey. Make some noise if you love basketball. Let me hear you. Make some noise if you know someone who loves basketball. Make some noise. Make some noise if you've ever heard of the game of basketball in your life. Come on, baby. All right, it's easy. So, on the count of 3, everybody call out your favorite NBA player. Go 1, 2, 3. Steph Curry. We love Steph Curry because we're Golden State people. But right now, I want you to take a look at this incredible framed jersey. I don't know how you got it. It's like PayBee's got connections. They know this guy who knows this guy who knows this guy. And I haven't even started the bidding, and the online virtual guests are already going crazy. I haven't even started yet. Usually I would have some kind of a celebrity cameo here, or sometimes a birthday, a video of the lot. We'll actually do that on the next lot, the Mexico lot. So picture where you're going to put this in your home, in your office, or anything. I was going to stay started at $500. We're already at $1,800. Let's go. Now I'm going to bid 18, going to bid higher, going to bid who's going to go. Now I'm going to bid, 111 just bid. We got 18. Thank you so much. And now I'm going to bid 19. 206 in the house. So 206, that would be my on-site bid, the in-person people. We're at 2,300. Who's going to bid 2,300? We have a virtual bid from George Franco at 25. Oh, wait, 202 in the room. I have 202 right here in person. Now I'm going to bid, who's going to bid 27? Oh, Maya beat you out. In-person folks, my in-person crowd, you are out right now. The virtual team is rocking it at 29. Jenny O'Toole has it at 2,900. Who's going to go 29? Going to bid 9, going to bid 29, going to bid 3. Yes, now I'm going to bid 203. I'm going to take 203. You were first. 203. You're already beat at 32. I'm looking for 33. Now I'm going to bid 33. Going to bid 3. Going to bid 30. 203 in person right here, and in-house is 203. Now I'm going to bid, this virtual crowd is going crazy. Wait, 206 in person is here. 206 is in. Now I'm going to be working at $3,800. Jenny owns it right now. She owns this incredible jersey. I need $3,800 to go. Here we go. $3,800 once. We got to go. Now I'm going to bid $3,800 twice. 5 seconds to go at 38. Jenny, George Franco came in, and then Jenny took it. Anybody in my in-house crowd? Anybody at all? We got to go. Yes, 203. 203 right there. And coming in at, Jenny took you out again. All right, you guys, let's kind of let it die here, so we'll be here all day with this fake money that you would love to spend. We need 4,200. Jenny has it at 4,100. She is in our virtual crowd tonight. Congratulations, Jenny. If you win it, it's going to be close. 5 seconds to go at 4,200. And 4 seconds to go at 4,200. Watch that, Chad, if you're on a slow connection. 3 seconds to go at 4,200. 2 seconds to go at 4,200. 1 second to go, and it is sold. 4,100. Give it up for Jenny. So, obviously, I'm very bound to this podium, but in a real event, I'm going to have to talk to the crowd, and I'm probably going to have this a little lower and looking up at me a little bit more so that my face is really open to the crowd, so that my eye time is shared. Any questions of that first one from our crowd, our virtual guests here in the chat? Any questions? Okay, Ryan says, who queued the PayBee platform to go from stream and chat to this auction package look? Does PayBee staff produce that for each? So you have a choice, Ryan. You have a choice. Either you can do it, or you can pay PayBee a fee for them to manage that. It's not that many auctioneers have their own staff and their own team, and a spouse or part of their team manages that part of it. But PayBee can definitely do that. But there's an adjustment in cost. Nidhi, do you want to address that at all?
We typically train the team, whoever's running it, whether the auctioneers team, producers team, or the charities itself. And once in a while, again, we typically don't run it. We want the charities to be equipped. So we equip the team to run it.
You know, Debbie Gish had an interesting question. Can the in-person folks see the wheel of names? So the projection up on the screen, because you'll have this, PayBee has a great, you're going to see this later tonight, a projection that goes up on the screen. Does that wheel show up on the screen?
You can totally show it up. And again, the wheel today had a list of all the participants of everybody who is on this stream. So you can know who the live audience is and just put live virtual and live in person, and put their names on there.
Yeah.
That's possible.
And Sarah says, how many virtual participants fit on the screen? How do you see everyone if there are a lot online? You're talking about for the wheel of names, Sarah? Is that it for the wheel of names question? Or for something else? The bidders. Sarah, is your question about the wheel of names? If your question is about the wheel of names, how do you see them all? Obviously, the more people you have, those pie slices are going to be tiny. So It's the chat that shows up. Oh yeah. So yeah, for the chat, it's the size of your chat window, the speed of how many people are commenting is going to control that. And if there's I definitely use PayBee for all of my larger size events. So anything 400 guests or above, I require PayBee basically, and below that it's an option. So if you had a ton of guests and they're all commenting at the same time, it's going to go pretty fast.
It builds up the energy as well, right, for the virtual audience and keeping them engaged. There'll be somebody from the charity welcoming them, cheering them on. Carolyn will be on there too. So again, it builds up the energy in the virtual audience.
Jenny says, am I available? So as long as the important thing is I don't want to take you away from another auctioneer. If you already have another auctioneer, it's really important to me that we honor whatever arrangement you have. If you don't have a professional auctioneer and you're looking, then absolutely. Chad at principalauctioneer.com is my website, and school principal like Principal. So, but if you already have an auctioneer, you need to stick with them, and I want to support them. Have you ever done a hybrid? Nick says, have you ever done a hybrid auction where the in-person audience is also bidding on devices as the virtual audience? Absolutely. I don't suggest it. I don't like the idea of people looking down at their phones. And I tell clients who want to do a fund a need virtually, or people on smartphones, that you're going to lose between 30 and 40%. You're going to raise about 30 to 40% less because the relationship between an auctioneer and those guests is fragile like gossamer, like spider web. And if you break that connection up, then you're going to lose so much money. That connection between me and the crowd is so vital. So I can talk about that kind of stuff all day. We need to do this second lot number 2. It's the final lot of the night, which is always a huge honor at the end of our live auction. Raise your hand if you are tired of your living room, tired of your house. How many of you are dreaming of white sandy beaches with your toes in the sand? And everybody, if you're tired of your house, let me hear you say, "Vamos a Mexico."
Vamos a
Mexico. Oh, you guys are good. All right, raise your hand if you've ever been in the doghouse or the turkey coop in your relationship. Anybody been in the doghouse or turkey coop? This is your get out of jail free card. Let me just see this really quick. Sorry, Debbie says, does the live stream go back and forth between the room and the auctioneer normally? That's where I said at the beginning, Debbie, that it depends on how many cameras you want to have. So for what I do, the minimum is a camera on me here at the podium and one camera facing the crowd. The next step up would be a camera following me in the crowd, so a videographer, so that they can see my interactions and zoom in and zoom out, or multiple cameras, for some of my bigger events or my big celebrity events, those kind of things. So it depends. Up to you. That's up to you how you want to do it, because and part of it depends on how many virtual guests. If you have 500 people in person and 30 people or 50 people virtually, then you're going to obviously emphasize the in-room over the virtual. So we could talk about that. We have a lot of experience there. Does the live stream? Okay, I think we're caught up. All right, Mexico. So this is a huge, perfect little Mexican giveaway. 5 sun-drenched days, 4 balmy nights. This is the Vedanta. It is all inclusive. Your food and everything, beautiful. It's just totally all done. You just push a button and you have a beautiful vacation right now, and it is Cancun. Can we see? I think we have a video. We actually, you don't want to hear about it from me. Let's see this incredible Mexico vacation before you bid on it. All right, who wants to go to Mexico? If you want to go to Mexico, say Parangaraku Tirimikoro. Anybody who wants to go, say Parangaraku. I'm just kidding. You win this lot, I'll tell you how to do that. All right, so countless pools, lush gardens, attentive staff, delicious food, tasty margaritas, maybe take a cooking class or a world-class show, incredible performances, sea turtle releases, delicious buffets, and a partridge in a pear tree. There's everything in this lot. It's amazing. Plus, you have 18 months to book it, so it punches out there past those COVID worries. The basic value is over $4,100. And guests who are joining us today for this lot, we're going to show you the back end clerk entries, how it works for because this alone makes PayBee head and shoulders above any other option. What is the impossible thing for smart programs? Carolyn, I need power for this. Smart programs, the impossible thing is being able to enter data in real time that's fast. So bidder number and entry. Almost even the big vendors can't do this in the way that that PayBee does. So take a look at the clerking side of it. Is it up there on the screen? I can't see that view. Is it on there? You're going to show that off. There it is. So you can see for the clerks, all they do is paddle number 205, 203, click bid, and suddenly you have that pledge from the in-person crowd when I just say it out loud. So if I say a bid 203, boom, it's in there, and that way your virtual crowd and your in-person crowd stays in sync. That is a blooming industry miracle, you guys. That right there is worth everything because nobody can do that as far as I'm aware. So let's go ahead and start this lot. I'm going to start it at 22,230 Mexican pesos, which in today's exchange rate is $1,000, but I can't do that because Ira already bid 1,200. Now we're looking at 13. Let's go. Who's going to bid 1,300 and go? Now I'm going to bid 13. Going to Mexico. Margarita Sand. Let's go. Got to bid 13. Now I'm going to bid. Oh, wait, Sarah is in. Wait, I have bids online and virtual. 203 is in person. 202 is now bidding 1,800 in person. And now online I have the Ryan brothers at 19. I need 2. Now I'm going to bid 2 is the ask. Who's going to bid now? Maya is in at 2020. Patrick is in. Nick is in. I can't even say the numbers of money is pouring in. Wait, online, virtual in the house. We have 206 and 111 taking us up to 4,243 now. Now I'm going to bid 4,300. Who's going to go? Now I'm going to bid 43, going to bid 3, going to bid 3. Come on, it's only money. And it feels so good to spend it. And you're going to make more tomorrow. So come on, let's go. It's for this cause. Kelsey is in at 46. I need 4,700. 20202 on our in-person crowd is in at 42, but Maya has taken it away. Debbie owns it now, and we're looking at 4,900. Who's in at 49? Now I'm going to bid 49. Going to bid 49ers. I'm from the Bay Area. The 49ers. 49ers. Who's got it better than us? Let's go. Now I'm going to bid 49. We going once. 49 going twice. Now hold on, everybody. Stop the bidding. Wait a minute. I got permission, you guys, that if we got this high, that I could sell as many as we want. So right now, I'm going to go back to Nick's last bid of $4,900, and I'm going to sell 5 more. Or let's sell as many as we want at 4,900. Let's go ahead. All you have to do is click on to choose. What's the name of that button? Yeah, you're going to choose to be in at 4,900. Who wants to be in at 4,900? You're just going to click on that 4,900, and a bunch of you are going to Mexico. We're all going to Mexico together. Let's go. Come on, put them in there. Good. It looks like Sarah's going to Mexico. Gary Lorenzen. Gary Lorenzen is an awesome auctioneer. He's going to Mexico. George Franco, another auctioneer who has great TV background. So think about that guy. Stevie G, 4,900. Ira's going to Mexico. Ira's going to Mexico twice. So maybe buying it. You know what? Buy it for a gift. I have some clients who buy this for them and buy one for their nanny so their kids are out of their hair, or grandma and grandpa so their kids are out of their hair. That's your choice. We have sold a ton of these. As a sailor, I would say we have sold a shipload of these. That's incredible. Anybody else? Last chance to go to Mexico. 5 seconds ago at 4,900 for you to be in. 4 seconds ago and 3 seconds ago.
We have some in the room, Chad.
Oh, wait, what? Oh, there's someone in the room. Oh, 111. Oh, they were in the shadows. We have somebody in our room is going to join us. Thank you so much. Anybody else in our room? I'm so virtual right now. 203 from our room. You're going to Mexico. Who else is going to Mexico? Vamos a Mexico. And I'll teach you how to say Parangaraku Tiribikoro afterwards. All right. Anybody else? Last chance. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then boom. So that's how you do a multiple sale. And you see how it's so easy in PayBee. They just do the paddle number and click pledge. There's no way that you're going to keep up with me, especially as an auctioneer. I talk fast. If you don't have that kind of push click button way to do live auction, way to do the bottom levels of the fund need, and for sure the ways to do last hero. Last hero virtually is hard, and this makes it easy. Obviously, you're all going to Mexico in your mind. So that's your. Is that I'm going to Mexico? I'm going to California? No, I'm going to somewhere in my mind. All right. So the last bidder, Nick says, needs to also push the cart, even though I was high bidder. So Nick, it depends. Sometimes what we could do is we could say Nick's the winner, and we declare the winner, and I could have the crowd move up and all choose the amount that you did. Or what I did there is I went to a lower one. Sometimes, Nick, I'll even go to the one before you. Like if I want to capture a lot of people, I'll say, Nick, I know you wanted to give 49, but we're going to open this up at 48 and then let everybody join in. That's because I'm trying to, in this kind of particular sale, I'm trying to catch a whole bunch. Most multiple sales where I'm just trying to catch one more person or maybe two more at the most, I would declare you the winner, and then I would set the same price at the top one, or sometimes I would just go down one and get those two down there. So it depends on the auctioneer, Nick. So I'd say, Nick, you need to push it again, I would say, because we're lowering it, and I'd say you need to click it again. So I put that in my notes there. So we'd have to tell me that I need to push the button. Yes. Unless we just declared you the winner and I pulled everybody else to bid to give your amount. The reason why I never declare you the winner and then go down is I don't want you paying $4,900 and everybody else paying $4,800. So that's why I'd sometimes go down to the bottom one. Good question. Good. Anything else about the live auction before we dive into our little mini fund to need? Going once. Questions? Twice. Questions? All right, I think we are ready to go. So, fund to need. This is the heart of the night. I usually put on my principal serious face, change it more to the really heart time of slow down. Let me hear you if you love our worldwide network of benefit auctioneers. Make some noise if you love these people. So, our annual Benefit Auctioneer Summit is coming up soon, and our fund to need tonight is going to focus on sending great young, they don't have to be young, but young to benefit auctioneering, auctioneers to the summit. We're going to do scholarships today. Each $1,000 sends another. Those of you don't get too excited. You understand this is just pretend. We're not really doing this. This is play money, you guys. I see some people very excited. We're the only question right now is how many auctioneers we are going to send to Summit. That's the only question. And right now, tonight, there's going to be an auctioneer who's going to get that message, and you're going to change the course of their life. And again, the only question before us is how many. Here's where I would usually call for a video. We might watch a video here about the summit and scholarships, or a testimonial maybe of somebody who won last year and how it changed their life. Watch the video here, and then, oh my God, the video is amazing. Who's ready to donate $1 million? And then I might bring us all together. Let me hear you all say, we are small, but we are mighty.
We are small, but we are
mighty. Yeah, bring the crowd together and get our hearts together. And then I kind of, it's the application and release of pressure, right? So bring us all together, and I'd say, obviously $1 million, just kidding. It's no big pressure. All we're asking tonight is two things today. One, that everybody here just give something. And number two, that you give whatever for you is your little stretch, your little pinch. If everybody does that, like kind of golden rule kind of giving, we are going to change the world today. So in a moment, we're going to ask just two levels, 1,000 level, 500 level, and we're done. Obviously, usually I'd be ending with the last hero. We're not doing that today. 1,500 and then done. But before we start, at the 1,000 level, maybe there's a champion today, a hero, and you can give anything above $1,000. Now, if you're in-house here, what I want you to do is you'll wave your paddle and I'll run to you and you tell me the amount, and maybe you want to dedicate your gift in honor of someone or something or somebody who's changed your life. If you're in our virtual crowd, you can hit that button where it says pledge other, and you can type in an amount. And then if you want me to do a dedication, just write that in the chat. If you want to dedicate it to your grandmother or your mother or a sweetheart or somebody who changed your life, an angel that gave you a leg up, that sent the elevator back down for you, you could tell us that dedication. Maybe today somebody could stretch to give $11,000 to celebrate our 11th summit this year. Maybe somebody could give $5,000 and you just sent 5 auctioneers to the summit. Before we start at 1,000, is there any champions above $1,000 right now? Is there anybody? Oh, wait, hold on a minute. We have Steve G. Oh my goodness, we have. Okay, hold on. I gotta look at these pledges. Ira was first. My goodness, and Ira dedicated to Jim. That's our dog. Ira knows us. That's our dog that passed away. Bless you. Thank you so much, Ira. Carolyn Carvey, $5,000. Amazing. In our virtual crowd, 111. I'm gonna run out to you. I'm running out through the crowd, and I'll go to you. 111. How much would you like to donate? 111.
I'll do 7,000.
$7,000. Everybody cheer and clap. And do you want to dedicate your gift in honor of anyone or anything?
Yes, to my grandma.
To grandma. What's your grandmother's name?
Denise.
Denise, give it up for Denise. Come on, make some noise. So that's how you handle that. Obviously, the camera would either pan to the crowd or would follow me out there. We have, and then notice that the clerk has entered Amy's pledge of $7,000. Kelsey is in at $5,000, and maybe other. And Carolyn dedicated her gift to Ira. I love that. Any other gifts? Nick, $10,000. Amazing. 10 more auctioneers are going to Summit. Thanks to you, George Franco. Thank you so much. Incredible. And then I do some kind of a wrap up, and then we would go to our first level. Woo! All right, now we are getting ready to start our first level of 1,000. We're already up $22,000. Make some noise. We're making history already. This is amazing. Make a big deal. We haven't even started yet, and we're already up $22,000. So our first level, the $1,000 level, is always the make or break level of any gala. This is where it's done. $1,000 is you taking a stand for one benefit auctioneer. You sending one benefit auctioneer to the summit and changing their lives, taking a stand for one. You stand for one tonight. $1,000 is high, but to put it into perspective, at Whole Foods, it's like 2 organic avocados, maybe $1,000 right now, right? So if everybody here could raise their paddle at 1,000, we'd raise almost $50,000 right now. I might announce a matching challenge here, right about here. But right now at $1,000 on your mark, they're already poured in. 1,000 get set. And remember, give me your match if you're virtual. We have 203 in-house. 202 is in-house. And on virtually, we have Nick is in for 1,000. Stevie, $1,000. Debbie, $1,000. Ira, $1,000. Emily, $1,000. Sarah, $1,000. Lynn Tierney, $1,000. And it's interesting. There's a little, when you get to the $1,000 level, because obviously you're going to hopefully start higher, maybe 10,000, 5,000, 2,500, 1,000. You're going to have to be careful on the asking for dedications, because you can see the dedications in the chat as an auctioneer, but there's no way you're going to run out in the crowd and get 20 different dedications, or you'll be there all night. So you probably want to be very clear that your dedications, you're only taking them at these couple higher levels when there's just a few, and then when there gets too many, I won't be able to do the dedications. Stevie, have I ever heard from Whole Foods? I've actually had Whole Foods people in the crowd, and they love it. They laughed, and I said, now that Amazon joined, we did all the pledges, and now we're at $32,000. Amazing, incredible. And I usually try to say, oh my God, what's the total we planned? Hopefully we were hoped to be at 20,000 by now. Where are we? We're at $32,000. Oh my God. Whatever it is, you're gonna hear me do the same explosive thing, even if it's low, right? If our goal was 50, and if I say, okay, let me see what our total is. I'm seeing that it's 32. I was hoping we'd be at 25 by now. What are we at? $32,000. So I'm going to make sure that we celebrate whatever is happening. That is how we honor our guests, no matter what. You don't ever want to say, we're hoping to be at 50 and we're at 32. Oh, we can do it, guys. No, don't do that. All right. And the second and final level of funding, $500. Okay, $500 donors. You have something that nobody else has tonight. It's all in your hands. You are going to be the one to set the record to make history tonight. Whether you're in crowd or virtually, you are the ones who are going to set the percentage of giving. The history book is now in your hands. $500 donors. $500 in San Francisco is the cost of one red light ticket. I ran a red light by accident. It's kind of yellowish, reddish, whatever. $500 is the ticket. Let's just break the law together. Let's hold hands at $500. Every two donations, another auctioneer goes to Summit. Here we go at $500 on your mark. $500 get set and go at $500. Yes, Rajiv is in at $500. $750 from Nick. Nick is going to go $750 because it's perfectly fine to write in another amount and to go above. That's always fine. Always can go above. Barbara, thank you so much for your $500. What a blessing. 206 here in house. We have $500. Thank you so much from Mike Jennings here in house. George is in at $800. Thank you so much. Incredible. We're at $35.50. Beautiful. Blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. You guys know how that works. Celebration usually here is when I would start going into my last hero technique. Voila. So this is the hybrid gala where you're here and your crowd and you're here and your crowd and you're going to be able to look at a lot of things. Those of you who are wondering what I'm seeing on my screen, so I see a thumbnail of myself. I see a thumbnail of each of the smaller virtual guests, live audience, but they're virtual. Usually I would be looking at the crowd. I'm seeing those thumbnails. They're representing the big crowd there. So usually it'd just be just me right there. And then I'm seeing the back door of PayBee where I see the goals, the totals. I can see all of your bids with your names. I can see the chat. What I do is I open the chat box and I squeeze it over on the left side of the screen. That works better for my eyes. So I can see all your comments, and I can see all the pledges, and I can see all the bids. Yes, Chad, are you looking at the StreamYard and PayBee on separate screens? I have StreamYard on Safari right here on my left. I have Chrome. I have PayBee on Chrome on my right-hand side. Now, what I sometimes do is I have a second Chrome page open, and I put just the chat by itself because I want it to be longer. I want it to go up the whole screen, and I can't do that if I do it on just one PayBee screen because it covers up too much of the information I need. So I will put it on a whole different screen and do it. I don't do a split screen top and bottom usually. I do a whole separate page and do it so my chat goes right down the right side of my page, and then I have all my PayBee backdoor page there, and then I have the smaller stream.
We'll actually show them, Chad. We're going to show them all those pieces as well, so they can see it for themselves.
Here's where I would usually also push the silent auction before I go. I'd say if silent auction closes in an hour, closes tonight, closes tomorrow, whatever, we might have a pop-up to send them to the silent auction. We might do raffle announcements here, and then I'd hand it off. Get paid, Nidhi, come up and we just raised it. We just raised $109,000. Our goal was $100, and we just did $190,000. And I never lie to a guest. So I won't say our goal is 100. So I'm going to say, I was thinking 100,000 by now, and 109. So Nidhi, take it away. Oh, George, yeah, you bet. So Nidhi, take it away. And if I can answer any questions, Q&A, that'd be great.
Yes, no, thank you to our live audience for joining. But there's a couple of things I want to cover, and I know the questions have been coming in. How does this all work, right? So after we can pull up that slide, which kind of just shows how it's all controlled, right? So again, we want to make it super simple for like one person to control the whole thing. So it'll just be a single person. Today it's Apta, she's a producer, and she controls what the virtual audience sees, what all of you on the feed were seeing today, what the clerk sees on their page, what the auctioneer's teleprompter shows, and as well as the audience monitor. And then we're going to go into each of these areas. So first, you saw the virtual experience. So she was controlling which levels you all saw. You all saw the clerk page as well, right? This is the auctioneer's page. This is what Chad was seeing. So again, he can see which level they're at. He can see how much was raised during Fund in Need, which is $35,050, and he can see the full total as well, which is $109,000 all the way at the bottom left as well. And then on the right side, he can see all the pledges as they're coming in, bids. He can see whether it's in person. If it's in person, you'll see that little man logo or woman logo, person logo with the number 206, and then little computer monitors when it's a virtual bid. So again, everybody is a part of the audience, no matter where they're joining from, and the auctioneer can address to everybody. And now we're going to show you the producer's page, which was controlling it all, which is the single screen interface. All the options levels are preloaded, and the producer just has to hit on a button, hit present, and it goes live. So that's where the Fund in Need, the auction, all those and the drop down. And then on the right, they can take action. So they can go full screen if they wanted. They could close auction lots. They could clear things. All those things happen right there. The third very important piece is our audience monitor. After we can show that. So this is our audience monitor. It is a dynamic screen. The content updates automatically. It could either go behind the auctioneer or on the rooms or all the screens in the rooms. Let's get some activity in here. After we could lodge Fund in Need. Yeah, let's get some activity. I'm the clerk for the day, by the way. I'm gonna punch in some bids as well. 201 and 111. So they will show up over here, right? And again, the goal thermometer will be updated in real time for both audiences as well. Let's see. And then, so now these are all the pieces that will be used. Again, they're all plug and play. The content updates automatically based on what the producer hits, right? Next, I want to talk about all of you auctioneers. I know we have a lot of auctioneers on this feed today, and you must all be wondering, hey, but I don't like to stay on the stage, and I like to move around, and I like to do it different ways, right? So again, we completely respect that, and we want you to continue using your own style, right? So there are a few ideas that we've come up with. So either you could be on the stage if that's your style, and you could use our teleprompter, like what Chad was using today, and he could see the bids and pledges coming in real time. Second option, if you like to move around in the room, that's totally fine. You could have a spotter, right, who could have maybe a red panel, right, and they're watching the feed, and when they see a virtual bid, they're going to raise that and kind of get your attention that, hey, there's a virtual bid, so that you could look at one of the audience monitors or look at the big screen behind you and then acknowledge that donor. The third option is you could make your co-host your assistant, and the co-host could be saying, hey, there's an online bid, right, from the stage as well. So these are a few ideas. Again, it's very flexible, very adaptable. You could tweak it to work for you. A couple of minor tweaks that you need to make to your delivery, as we were discussing, is just work in sync with the clerk so that they capture the bid and read out the paddle number. Just slow down just a little bit, right? Just slightly, so that they have enough time to kind of punch it in. And pretty much that's it. Apart from that, it's flexible. We want you to be in control of the room and your audience and the event itself, right? So that's how that would work. What is your style, Chad? Which style do you think you might use?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be a little bit more podium bound than I usually would. It's for my event this weekend. There's audience. It's usually a big outdoor event around a swimming pool at a resort. So it's really important that I'm highly animated, and so I will have to run around, but there'll be a camera on me. So, but I think I'll tend to be more bound to the. Let me see if I can move this. I think it'll probably look a little bit more like this, as far as what the virtual crowd will see, maybe like this. So that way the in-person crowd has all my upper torso there, and they really feel it there. And then I look down at the online crowd and up and everybody and down at the online crowd like that. And so but maybe a little bit less running around than I would normally do.
No, and I guess with this kind of setup, you could be running a hybrid gala from Alaska, and you could have your audience everywhere. You don't have to. Again,
they just
be in the room, which is awesome, but you could be remote as well.
They put me up on screen, absolutely. And like I said, I did that recently. Yeah.
Awesome. So this would pretty much bring us to the end of a gala. And, I was telling you, I promised you we'd give you a credit card number so that you could do a checkout. We do want you to get a full experience. The credit card number is listed out on the screen. It's 4242 all the way across, expiration 424, CVV 424, right? So feel free. And again, you can check out while the event is in motion. You don't have to leave the event. It can continue. Guests can check out at any time. And for an in-person guest, you could just open up your phone camera and point it to the QR code on either your name card or your paddle. It'll take you to your cart, and then you could use Apple Pay, Android Pay, credit card to checkout, or walk up to one of the volunteers who can take your checks and anything else as well, right? So try out the checkout, and I just wanted to talk a little about how we PayBee get involved in your event. Again, for us, customer service is most important. We see ourselves as an extension of the charities team, and we are heavily, heavily involved in every part of the process. So we have an onboarding call. We continue, and then that's a screen share. We go into specifics like, what is your plan? Tell us, how are people going to be checking in? How are people coming in? And then we go through all the parts, help you set up campaigns. We continue providing tech support to the charity. If a producer or an auctioneer is new to hybrid, to virtual, to PayBee, we can train them as well, right? So that's something we do. We participate in the dry run as well, make sure things are running smoothly. That's where the auctioneer, producer, charity team, everybody who has a role to play would join. We participate, make sure things are running smoothly. And also on the day of the event, we are present 100%, right? One team member, it's a dedicated rep. You'll know who it is. They're available. You'll be on a system with them. So you're chatting with them. They're watching the feed. Anything required, they can jump in. You won't really need us because you're going to be pros by then, but we're there in case you do, right? The last thing I would like to say is definitely consider going hybrid. If you're doing in person, go hybrid, right?
Why not?
To just
what reason would you not do? Would you not go hybrid? There's no downside. No downside. Invite all your aunts and uncles and cousins. Each one bring one. It'll increase your audience. Yep.
Yeah, to give very specific examples, right? Oakland Zoo, one of our clients, they typically have 300 people in person, right? And based on the room capacity. And when they went virtual last year, they had 1,600 people join, right? And suddenly they've expanded their audience. Another example, Oregon Ballet, our other client, they just had their event a month ago. Their goal was to raise $75,000. At their hybrid event, they ended up raising $229,000, which makes us very, very happy. And they were happy as well. So again, with hybrid, you have the ability to expand your donations as well as your audience, right? So
Nidhi, I should have said this towards the beginning. I should have said this towards the beginning, but I just want to be clear. I get nothing for doing this. I'm doing this as just a volunteer. PayBee is not paying me a cent or giving me a discount on anything or anything like that. This is just something because I really think that this product is one of those kind of products that can help our industry a lot. And I kind of helped with the consultation in developing it. So just to be clear, they're not giving me a penny, and I'm not getting any discounts or anything like that from them.
Yeah, no, Chad has been an amazing mentor as we've designed through this. And again, just thinking about things, right? What happens in the moment when you're in this stage?
Nidhi, let me answer this question. This question says, for our organizations that do hybrid, if you are charging for the in-person, do you charge for the virtual? So for just virtual galas, I always suggest charging. And the way I suggest it is a 3-tiered option. So pick your fee, pick your ticket kind of thing. So if it was just all virtual, so for example, let's say last year at your regular in-person gala, the ticket was $200. I might say, okay, choose your ticket. Option 1, $200. This is what you'd pay if we were all in person together. For those who can afford it, we love you. Thank you so much. This is great. You might do a door prize associated with that, kind of a raffle, but without being a raffle. And then option number 2 is $100. This covers all our costs for the event, and make sure every dollar goes to our cause. For those who can afford $100, thank you so much. That's great. And option 3, write in your amount between $5 and $100, because we understand that COVID has really been hard on some of our people this year. We want to honor and have everybody attend. I don't usually do 0 because I want at least $5 because I want to capture their credit card, right? So I usually do it that way. For hybrid, you could do this is the suggested in-person, because this is the in-person ticket because it's the food and everything, the venue you're paying for. And here's the virtual ticket, and it's a lesser amount, $100 or something like that. And this helps cover all the costs of the gala. I wouldn't do free, although I would, because of COVID, I would do a write-in amount at the bottom, which is between X and X amounts. That's my suggestion.
And I guess having another option as well, right? He can't make it. I still want to support the organization, put a donation campaign as well.
Well, to do sponsors, to do donations, if people can't attend, we'd love to do a donation in their name to be part of a matching challenge. I like to make a matching challenge from all the people who could not attend but wanted to be here in spirit. And so we have a matching challenge from those heroes, and they kind of get some love that way.
Yeah, any more questions from the audience? Yeah.
Does anyone have advice on how to bring in high-end sponsors? Let me just say this about sponsorships. Virtual galas and hybrid galas, you need to be going to your sponsors offering so much more than you would for an in-person event. So if you think there's less of an opportunity for sponsors, you're dead wrong. There's twice as many. So if you think, what are your sponsors? What do you offer them because when you go for sponsorship, you don't want to be hat in hand asking. You want to be offering them positioning. I am giving you, I would love to feature you, these kind of words, right? We're offering you positioning in a prime event with the movers and shakers of our community, right? So you're going to go to them. You're going to say what? They're going to be on their platinum donors list, their gold donors list, that kind of thing. Maybe you'll put them up on a slide. Maybe the auctioneer will mention them. Well, think of what you can offer in a virtual setting. We could do a quarter slide, a half slide. We have the whole reception loop. We can put in a 20-second, 15-second, 30-second commercial. Wells Fargo, little commercial in the pre-loop, in the post-loop. The auctioneer can mention it, make a big deal in the fund need, a big matching challenge from a bank or an organization. You have so many more options for sponsors. And this is something I've trained all my clients to do, is stop accepting dead sponsorship money, inert, inactive, static sponsorship money. All of that money is wasted potential. You want to change all your sponsorship money to leverage money that you can use in the gala. So instead of the gold sponsorship level and the silver and the bronze, it's the gold matching challenge heroes, or the silver challenge heroes, the bronze matching heroes. Something that says that we're going to use that money as a matching challenge in the fund need to make it go crazy. So don't waste all that sponsorship money. Convert it in there to the for the fund the need. APTA, do you have a mechanism for finding items for the auction? If you do not have a professional auctioneer, a benefit auctioneer specialist, or an experienced benefit auctioneer, that is one of the biggest reasons you need me, us, them. Because my first hour of giving you a million ideas for live auction lots that you've never thought of, right? Things like naming rights. Like the other day I sold putting a picture of your pet on the rescue van for an animal rescue society, and two little old ladies wouldn't give up on each other, and it went from $100,000 to put a picture of their pet on the van, right? So you want to consult with your live auctioneer, spend an hour, because we will give you a million ideas right now. Before even looking, we can come up with 5. Just with low-hanging fruit, you could have 5 nice lots that won't cost you anything that we could do in a moment right now. So that right there pays for the auctioneer's fee about 10 times over in your first hour, and you have unlimited consultation, hours and hours and hours, as much as you need. So that's why you really need to make sure you have a professional benefit auctioneer, because we have, like for me, 25 years of experience of amazing live auction lots and how to do a frenzy lot, or how to do a multiple sale lot, or how to do a per ticket, per seat kind of lot. All those lots that are just designed to build participation as well as money, that kind of thing. So that's why you need us.
I guess, and also if you could touch upon consignment goods providers as well.
Yeah. And if you get stuck, then you have consignment. Yeah. And I tell my clients, think of consignment lots like cayenne pepper. Don't need them. Don't use them unless you need them. And if you do, just use a little bit. Don't go crazy. But let me say that virtual galas, I use many more consignment lots than usual because they go crazy. Vacation lots are insane. Everybody is so sick and tired of their houses. They want to get out. They want to do things and feel the sand in their toes. And so as long as your expiration date on your vacations are out there, you want to make sure, don't sell anything that's less than 12 months, but you want 18 months to 2 years as an expiration. And that's why consignment works so well, because you can sell as many as you want, and that expiration, is out there. That Mexico lot, and actually not that exact one, but a Mexico lot that's just like that one that I've been selling recently. The value is $4,100. The cost is about $1,050, so a little over $1,000 each. And I sold 20 the other day, right? 10 to 20 is my average of that one lot. And so we're making maybe $1,500 each times 20. That's a lot of money, 35,000, something like that. So anyhow, yeah, get the auctioneer to your auctioneer to tell you about consignment lots. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. More questions, harder ones. Anything else? After raise and hold up one at a time. Anything else? Last chance. Let me look at the chat. Jack Higgins, awesome. Charity Works. Yeah, Charity Works, nice. Good items from Charity Works. Good items from Charity Bids. Charity Bids and Charity Works are rocking, and we know them. They're tried and true. Both Charity Works and Charity Bids are stupendous. Steve G, PacificAuctionCompany.com. Awesome. Good. Well, I got to hit the road and hit the ocean. We had orcas follow our sailboat for 2 hours, 2 days.
Awesome.
There was a big pod of orcas, and the humpback whales breaching out of the water. Oh my goodness!
Oh man, you make it so exciting, Chad. Oh, someday.
Crazy up here in Alaska. Non-fungible tokens. I love it, Fred. And, I haven't done any of that stuff. I know some auctioneers are doing the what's it called? I'm escaping.
NFTs,
MFTs, yeah, that whole world. As a school principal, I'm kind of a conservative guy, and I'm an old fuddy. Don't get me started on that kind of stuff. I have a hard time with it. But God bless you, those of you who are doing it.
Awesome. No, thank you so much, Chad. This was so amazing. It was so much of fun and just running through this whole thing. Thank you again for coming.
Good. All right. Well, we're going to sign off. We got to put this hotel room back in order. We've moved it all around to make this little gala. So thank you. Goodbye, everybody.
Thank you, Carolyn.
If you need to reach me, principalauctioneer.com. Let me put my cell phone in the chat here. If anybody needs me, 988. If anybody needs me, give me a call. Send me a text. All right. Ciao, all.
Bye-bye. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye. Have a good day.